How does it feel when you have only sea and horizon around you for days? What does it mean to build your own house and live in it? And where does my contribution to environmental protection begin, and where does it end? With James, I tried to find answers to these and other questions in the following. Have fun with episode 11 of the WalkyTalkyPodcast. Welcome to the WalkyTalkyPodcast. Next episode is recording now. I sit in my current trailer with my next guest, which is James. James is my current host and teacher in timber frame, and also teacher a bit live. And yeah, I'm spending a lot of great time here, or I spend a lot of great time with James. James moved to Canada a long time ago. I don't really know how long it is ago, but maybe you want to say it by yourself.
Yeah, we moved to Canada 5 years ago. It's been a nice 5 years.
So let's pick up the listeners a bit. You moved with your family. So how old are you? What is your job? What are you doing? Why you moved to Canada?
Okay, yeah. Well, we start at the beginning. I'm 44 now, I think. I'm never 100% sure, but I think I'm 44. We moved to Canada because we were disenfranchised, I guess, with life in the UK a little bit. And we've been exploring ideas of where we wanted to live in another country. We did go through quite a bit of process, looking at options, and Canada kept coming up to the top of the list. And the big appeal for Canada for us is the fact that it's an amazing place for outdoors. You can just got unlimited wilderness here and great opportunities to do outdoor sport and go hiking, go climbing, go skiing, go sailing, go fishing, do everything which we couldn't do at home. So yeah, that's a huge thing, and I guess it gives us opportunity to maybe live in a little bit more old-fashioned way. So yeah, we changed our working environment a little bit.
Yeah,
and yeah, that's why we're here, and to give our kids a better opportunity for life, I think, as well. Yeah. So yeah, we're modern pioneers, I guess.
Yeah, and so far you would say it worked out.
Yeah, 100%. We have zero regrets for moving to Canada. Yeah, no, we love living in Canada. Yeah, it worked out perfectly. I can't really say anything more than that. Yeah, it worked out really well.
What did you do for a living in England before you, or what are you doing now? What is how do you ended up doing what you mainly do now, which is building timber frame cabins and houses and barns?
Yeah, well, in the UK, my life is complicated, so it's not easy to say I was doing this or doing that. But
what did you learn?
For the last few years before we left the UK, I had my own business. It was a woodworking business.
Okay.
And I was in partnership with another guy there. And really, he was teaching me a lot. I wasn't like a super experienced woodworker. He was more of the lead guy. I was there helping him I had more experience running businesses and stuff. Okay, so I was helping him develop his business. So we'd become friends. We went into partnership together and we worked together for like 4 or 5 years. And yeah, it was really nice. It was, I enjoyed my working life. Working life was fine. So, that's what I was doing before that. But then, I sold my half of the business to him and freed myself up to move here.
Yeah. So you learned that as well? Or you studied it, or you?
No, I've been learning on the job. From the time we spent together that I'm kind of a hands-on kind of person. Yeah. So we try to, what would I say? Yeah, I learn by doing. I'm a learn by doing guy. Yeah. I've been that since I was a little kid. So,
nice. Yeah.
That's the only way I can learn. I think I have to learn by making mistakes, screwing things up and then sorting it out. So that's how we do it.
It's really, really good to hear, because it's exactly what I'm doing as well at the moment. And you gave me a huge possibility to improve myself with working on stuff which I never did before. So you started building then here your first cabin, like when you arrived when you moved to Canada? Or?
Yeah, I think basically the first spring we were here, we moved to Canada right in the middle of winter. It was deep, dark winter. We moved on like the first couple of weeks of December. So it was dark and cold, and it wasn't any building going on. But we got through the winter. There was a bit of a shock to the system to arrive and it being minus 25 all of a sudden in your life. That's a big shock. But when the spring came, we started doing some building, and that was our plan right from the start. Like we bought the acreage here, as you know, we've got this nice acreage. And our plan was to build some cabins for tourists so that we could earn our income, slowly move to earning our income that way.
So this is what you're doing mainly now. I mean, to be honest, the cabin is lovely, beautiful. And you have a second cabin, which is not ready yet, but it has a roof on it, which is very important in Canada.
Yep, having a roof is important.
And let's go a bit deeper in building a house. We talked about a lot in the last weeks about building a house. And I mean, you did it already a few times. You built a own house in England. You built a few cabins here. You build up your own barn, and in the few years, hopefully, you will build your own house, a new one. What does it mean for you to build your own house? Because I'm in an age where a lot of people around me start building family, building a house or buying houses. Where the name or the word home gets a really important word.
Yeah.
How is that for you? So what means home and building a home for you?
I think it's super important to me. We built, as you said, we built our own house in the UK, which was a very unusual construction. We built a cob house in the UK, which is a house built of mud and straw. And I loved the process. We had a lot of help. We had a really good group of people helping us, but we did as much as we could ourselves, the vast majority ourselves. When it was finished, I just loved being in the space, being in the house, and that a sense of pride, I guess, in, we did this. It's wonderful. It's comfortable. It's, it's nurturing space to be in. I loved it. I loved doing the design side of things, trying to get the design right. Really, really enjoyed the whole process. So it was perfect. The only problem was that house wasn't in the right place for us to spend the rest of our lives. So then we decided to move to Canada. We had to sell our dream home that we already had built. And then we start again. We had to start again.
How hard was that to sell it? Because how much did you really did by yourself, like the percentage?
I think probably if you looked at the overall thing, I did 75% myself.
Yeah. With
my hands. Yeah. A lot of work. Well, 2 years, really hard work. Yeah. I had a team of guys help me do the main structure right at the start.
Yeah.
And then once the main structure was done, we did everything else ourselves, basically. So a huge amount of work, and, love really goes into it. From working together that I want to do a really nice job, the best job that we can, without trying not to fall into becoming a perfectionist, because that has its own problems. We try to do that. It was, the amount of effort you put in, it was hard to sell it and move on, but I think it was worth it, because now we're doing it again, and this time it's the last time. That's the most important thing. This time's the last time. Yeah.
I will ask you in a few years again if it's ready.
Oh yeah, no, it's the last time. Sure. It's the last time. Yeah. And I can't do it again. It's all consuming. I mean, sometimes I get stressed with it. If you're trying to actually do design and, forward plan, you always got to do so much forward planning when you're building to make sure that you have the things you need. If there's that special drill bit that is critical to everything and you don't have it,
it's just a small thing, but it's a
small thing, but it can cause a huge problem. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of that. So there's stresses involved, and, it takes major commitment, but I think it's really worth it in the end. Like the reward hopefully lives with you forevermore. Once you got it finished, then that's it. You've got this fantastic.
Yeah. And then you sit in your house, which you built or made by yourself, which is I think also big difference instead of you buy a house or renovate it or whatever.
I think it's absolutely huge. Like for me, it's really, well, like as I said before, I love the design side of things, and I'm really looking forward to building a house and actually being able to make it exactly the way I want it to be. And I think, the quality of I'm not an architect, but I really do believe in the thing that you hear architects say about how important the quality of the space that you live in and what effect it can have on your life. We've experienced it once, right? We had this, so we built this beautiful house and we only lived in it for maybe 2 years. But those 2 years, you can see how living in a really good quality building that's designed for your life. It changes your life. It really is a huge enhancement to life. It makes your life easier and better in so many ways. And I think it's a huge thing. So we're dedicated to what we're doing, and we really believe that it's very worthwhile.
So because you had already this experience and had the knowledge to work or build wood houses or work with wood. That was the decision for you as well, like to build, especially in Canada, timber frame cabins or timber frame workshop and timber frame houses now, I guess. How is that for you to work with wood? Because it's a completely different thing.
Yeah, I love woodworking. So, when we built our house in the UK, as we said, we did almost every element of it ourselves. The only thing, we had an electrician, I guess, come in and help, but everything else pretty much we did ourselves. Woodworking was the part of it that I really enjoyed the most. So I knew going into the future that if I did this again, it's going to be a wooden house. We're going to build a wooden house. And so, it's been interesting to learn about all that stuff. We've learned so much since we came to Canada. I built this log cabin. I did a couple of courses, and built this log cabin here that And once I've done that, I kind of come away from it and thought, I prefer the timber frame. The timber frame is more the idea that really suits us, and I like the style, and I like the fact that it could be a more ecological building. There's much more opportunity to really super insulate that kind of building. So that's what we're going to build for our house, but we haven't done any more design than that. And what we're doing right now, the barn, it's a giant practice project, basically. It's a barn, it's a workshop. We've made a few mistakes along the way, that. Nothing too serious, but a few little things that are imperfections. And hopefully when we build a house, it's going to be a lot better. Just all the little things that weren't quite right the first time will be the second time. But I've been making things my whole life, and that really is at the core of making. I've never made anything where I didn't think, shit. Like it could have been, I should have done it just like that. It would have been that little bit better. It would have been an improvement. So I like this idea of building the barn, building the workshop, and hopefully get most of those things ironed out before we go into a house. And then the house will be that little bit closer to.
That's a good tactic.
Closer to perfect, a little bit closer.
When the house is the last project, you should have the best at the end, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly.
I totally agree. It's really, really nice to work with wood. I did a few things in my life with wood, but never a huge project like this. And I cannot say thank you enough to giving me the chance to have a look in it and teach me all the things which you did.
Well, you've really taken to it very easily. It seems like you arrived on day one and we put you right in the deep end of this is what we're going to do. Please, we want you to make this, here's the saw, get going. Yeah. And you were going straight away.
This is for me exactly the best way to learn. Yeah. Jump in the cold water and swim.
Yeah, exactly. You have to. Yeah. We would have shouted at you if you made some horrible mistakes, but no, it's fine.
This is a good thing what you said, because you're taking a risk every day, because you let people like me helping you, because I don't have any knowledge about it and not much experience. You show me the way how to go, but a mistake can happen every second, every time. We had a nice conversation already about it, to take risk in general in life. I would like to hear your thinking about taking risk in life, and especially in a project like this. And it's also with kids and family and stuff like this would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I love risk. Risk is good.
Yeah, because
good.
I
mean, I think
it's getting lost.
Yeah, risk is really a good thing. I don't think it's a big risk with taking people on. I think one of the things that has become really clear to me. So the workaway thing, what you're doing now with us, we've worked with, I guess, probably 20, 30, 40, I don't know, different people building. And I haven't really come across a person who can't do this stuff yet.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all simple. And if you're careful and diligent and, hopefully I explain things reasonably well. But most people, we can find good things for them to do and they learn and strive. And I've seen people in a very short space of time make big change. So I don't think it's a big risk getting people to help in the way that you've been helping me. I think it works really well. So,
yeah.
But having said that, I like risk.
Yeah.
Going back to the risk subject, I do. I like risk, and I think risk is actually really important. I know we did talk about it before. It's important for kids to learn to take risks, and we've got 2 kids, and they're both skiers. They ski a lot, and we take them crazy places in the mountains, and they stand on the edge of cliffs, and they do all this kind of stuff. And I think there is this sort of trend, I suppose, in society, isn't there, that people aren't taking enough risk, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are afraid of everything, and that to me is a big problem. That's the opposite of what I want for my kids. Like, I want my kids to be confident to do anything, so they're not to be afraid. So I think as long as risks are calculated and you've kind of had a reasonable thought, then take a risk.
And if you are ready and able to accept mistakes, I guess, or
you got to make mistakes. You got to make mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
you learn.
It's normal.
Yeah,
exactly. Make mistakes, learn from it, move on.
Yeah. Well, I remember myself when I was like teenager or the beginning of the 20s. I saw a lot about don't do a mistake at work, wherever I go. Just try to be perfect and don't make mistakes. And
you're quite cautious.
Yeah.
Your natural personality is quite cautious.
Well, no, my natural person not, but I developed in this direction because my surroundings built me like this. Like, okay, you're not allowed to make mistakes. Not allowed, but it's not good.
Yeah.
And I realized in the last 10 years, maybe around that, this is for me the biggest learned progress which I have is making mistakes.
Yeah.
And to say, okay, I do mistakes and accept it and not say, no, I didn't make mistakes and start to lie.
Yeah.
Just say, I did it. Yeah. I did a mistake. How can I make it better next time?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. You just got to face that stuff. I mean, not to be afraid to do. I mean, the problem is if you don't like risk, it holds you back from everything in every aspect of life, right?
Yeah.
Like, the risks don't have to be crazy. Like, I don't, I mean, everyone has their limit. Don't they? What is right. Like, I'm quite cautious with a lot of things. Like, if I think that, I might die, or, if we're talking about outdoor activities, or I think my kids might get hurt, then we're cautious. We're super cautious, but also happy to take risk. And you got to find the sweet spot. But I don't know where that comes from, but I guess I've been lucky that I didn't have to, acquire the skill of being comfortable with risk. Like I think I've always been like that. It's just.
Do you have an experience in your life where you think back and like, oh, that was really, really, really risk, maybe a bit too much what I did? Or?
Oh, yeah, tons. Yeah, I mean, when you're 17 to 21, 22, I did a ton of really stupid stuff. really, really stupid stuff. Yeah. Life-threateningly stupid stuff, and probably lucky to get away with a few of those things. Yeah, I mean, I can't even tell you, like, some really stupid things. But So yeah, for sure. But I think now I'm a real grown up. I think I've moderated that, enough to not put myself in that situation too often. I mean, yeah, I can't remember the last time. So I think the last time that I felt like, oh man, I really misjudged that. So that hasn't happened really. No.
Is it a risk to cross the Atlantic with a sailing boat? Well, it depends.
Yeah, sure, it's a risk. But I mean, as you know, I did that once.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, you're asking me about that. And I mean, at the time, I didn't think it was a risk at all. I still don't think I would really. Like, if it's not a risk, if you're on a good boat with good people who know what they're doing, if you're on a leaky old crappy boat, with people who are not competent, then sure, it's a risk. Yeah. Mm. But, I didn't feel it was a big risk at the time, but I think again, I'm lucky, I guess, that I'm not intimidated by that kind of stuff. Like I remember at the time when I was said to people, oh, I'm going to do this trip, quite a few friends and people like that would say to me, oh man, like, are you okay?
Yeah,
so but I wasn't really worried or nervous about it at all.
When did you do the trip?
I have to think back what year that was. I think it was 2008.
2008.
Yeah.
So you crossed the whole Atlantic with a sailing boat with how many friends?
It was with 3 other people. I didn't know any of the other 3 people before the trip, so it was like
Oh, really?
No.
How come there?
So I was volunteering, much like you are now. It's like sailing work away, I suppose, effectively.
Yeah.
And it was a guy's boat, and he needed a boat moved from the Caribbean back to the UK.
Yeah.
And so I volunteered to, I was trying to learn more sailing and build my experience. So I just volunteered to join as a crew member. And, we flew out there, met the other people on the boat, and spent 2-3 days preparing the boat and then set sail.
How long did it take?
I think it was about probably 4 or 5 weeks total.
4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, because
when was the starting?
So we started in Antigua in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And then we sailed for 10 days to Bermuda. I think it was 9 or 10 days to Bermuda. That was horrible. It was really rough, strong winds, and we were what they call close hauled. So the boat's sailing very close to the wind, so the wind's nearly at the front of the boat, at the bow. And what that normally means is the boat heels over much more. So instead of the boat being upright, it's leaning over.
Yeah.
And we were bashing through big waves for 10 days, and it was quite unpleasant, actually, and quite a shock to, I think, we've only made it to Bermuda, and we're only 1/3 of the way. So we made it to Bermuda, and then we stopped in Bermuda for 3 or 4 days.
Can you sleep on these conditions?
Oh yeah, sure, you can sleep, but you're, the boat's leaning over at 30, 40 degrees. So, it's hard, you're being bashed around.
You don't have a hammock? You're like...
No, you don't have a hammock. They have what they call a lee cloth,
yeah.
Which holds you in the bed. So you have a special cloth that holds you in your bed.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't fall out. And, you have to go through the whole shift system, right? So sleeping at strange times because sometimes you're on deck in the middle of the night and stuff like that. So you've got the shift system going, but, you can sleep. You can get used to it. Actually, cooking is harder. Cooking's the hardest thing, like cooking and cleaning downstairs when everything, imagine cooking when the kitchen's all on the slope and things are sliding out the cupboards and all that kind of stuff. So cooking's hard, and going to the toilet can be a bit of a pain when you're crashing through huge waves. It's a bit of a nuisance, but, that wasn't the best. But, once we got past Bermuda, we left Bermuda and did the rest. The rest of the trip was pretty calm. And, we had nice wind and nice waves, and it was good.
How does it feel if you, in the middle of the ocean and there's nothing around you, like the horizon?
Yeah.
Just water and the sun.
Yeah.
For days, maybe.
Oh, yeah, sure. Once we left Bermuda and we went to the Azores next, and I think that was, I can't remember exactly, but let's say maybe 14 days from Bermuda to the Azores, 14, 15 days maybe. You're right out there in the middle of the ocean. And sometimes I think we probably go 3 or 4 days without seeing anything. So not seeing a ship.
Yeah.
Not seeing another boat anywhere. Probably 3 or 4 days at a time. For me, I was, again, relaxed about it. I think it's just peaceful. I liked it.
You like these kind of...
Yeah. I like remote,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
It's
very uncomfortable in the middle of a city.
Yeah.
I'm quite comfortable in the middle of the ocean. I'm happy with that. No problem. I think the nicest times for me were at night. Like at night when it was just you on the, outside on the cockpit, and you're just keeping an eye on the sails, and you've got stars all around you and the ocean. It's amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing experience and just really, really wonderful. Yeah, to watch the sunrise, that kind of thing. Yeah, I loved it. Love that.
Just to wake up on the boat is like.
I love
really,
boat.
really
I love boat life. It's really nice. I think what's really nice about boat life is it removes you from day-to-day normality completely, which for me is great. I love that. I think that's just to be away from, I don't know, work, jobs, the internet, all that. Be away from all that stuff is great.
Just you and the nature.
Exactly. Be in a peaceful environment. I mean, I like a peaceful environment.
Where did you finish the trip? In England, or?
Yeah, so we sailed to the Azores, and then we were there again 3 or 4 days in the Azores, and then I think we left there to the UK. We did that in about, I don't know, it was about 8 days, I think.
Yeah.
Back to the southern part of the UK. Yeah.
Was there some days or situations where it was like a bit tricky with the waves or the storm or whatever, or in total like more relaxed and you?
Yeah, just that first 10 days. The first 10 days was really rough.
Yeah.
And it was not, that was definitely enough to sort of rattle the nerves a little bit, shake you up a bit. And I wasn't happy. I wasn't enjoying it. It was horrible. It was not a nice experience. I wouldn't want it to do that for too much longer. But after that 10 days, then it was fine. Yeah, there was no storms. I mean, the whole thing with this, with sailing in the modern world is the weather. The information you have available to plan the weather is so much better than it has been in the past. So the mission is to avoid the worst of the weather, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you do it right, you should be able to do that now. So you shouldn't be caught in a horrific storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully that's the plan. Avoid the storms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you like working with wood and you love sailing. Can you imagine to build your own boat?
Yeah, I think that will probably happen one day. I think I probably will build a boat. I don't think I could build a big boat because it's just such a huge undertaking. But yeah, I think it's almost inevitable that I will build a boat.
Yeah. Yeah. I just arrived the question because
it might only be
that makes sense. And you making a boat makes totally sense.
No, I think I'm already looking at plans for boats and think about that sometimes. Yeah, for sure. It might just be a kayak to start with.
Yeah.
Just start small.
Yeah.
But no, I've looked at all sorts of boat designs and thought, I could make that. I've got a nice big barn to make it in. So
yeah.
So maybe I'll make a boat one day for sure. Yeah. I love making things. So that's the dream, is to be finally finished building houses and doing all this stuff, and then actually be able to do, what would I just like to build for fun?
Yeah.
Right. That would be awesome. Yeah. So.
And you are a person, you just do it, right? You just do things what you want to do. Like you don't think too much about, can I do it? Or how do I do it? Like you make things or you learn things in progress and just start it, or?
Yeah. I mean,
because I a lot of people, and sometimes myself as well, is like you think about too much about things which you want to do or what you really like to do. And I think you are a person, you do what you want to do. Just do it. And then.
Yeah, I think so. Trying to live that way.
Is there a trick?
A trick to that? I don't know. I mean, I've been saying for years that my dream life was to ski all winter and sail all summer.
Yeah.
And then I guess make some stuff in between that. But
come closer, yeah.
we're skiing most of the winter now, which is great. That's really nice. And hopefully we'll be able to sail. But yeah, most of the things I've wanted to do, somehow eventually it happens. we get there. We're not, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not scared to take things on, to try. And I think mostly people shouldn't be either, because if you can, most of the stuff you can do it, there's nothing to, you can work it out. Like,
you work it out. And if you really want it,
and especially like nowadays with the internet, it's just so amazing for whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
It's just unlimited information at your fingertips to research. And I mean, I spend a lot of time watching YouTube, watching timber framing videos, watching sailing videos, watching things, there's so much easy access to amazing information now that wasn't there, 7-8 years ago, it wasn't there. And now it's unlimited, which is brilliant. Yeah. So yeah, whatever you want to do, just, you're going to start. Yeah, exactly. Start putting the pieces in place to make it happen. I mean, yeah.
Can you imagine to live on a boat at some day?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
not forever, because you want to go back in your house now.
Yeah, not forever. Not to like, I don't think we'd ever live on a boat, we've sold everything. No, that's not us, I don't think, but live on a boat for, a year at a time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I'd love to. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Somewhere nice and warm. Not cold, not anywhere cold. Yeah. As long as it's nice and warm. Yeah. I'm up for it.
Well, we talked about a lot how future on this planet can look like, or how difficult the current situation is on this planet as a human. And I would like to go a bit in the future, because I think it's very interesting to talk about it, how it can look like, because we are officially in a pandemic still.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird sometimes, especially in places like this, you forget it, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
And then you go to town and realize, okay, no, it's still serious
still
stuff.
Happening. Yeah. I don't know. I don't go to town. No, but I think, but yeah, I know what you mean. Like, you forget here, don't you?
Yeah.
You just forget. Like, I go weeks here without leaving, and you just don't know that what's going on out there apart from the internet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And we talked also about how, well, I think you agree, how grateful we are to have like a passport from Germany or from England, and what it means to have at this time.
Yep.
Gives you a lot of possibilities to do what you want to do. Well, how do you feel if you think about the future of the humans on this planet? Do you think we go somewhere? Elon Musk is building us a second planet, or do you think we go back to cave, or we have to find a solution in the middle? Yeah,
I don't know. Like, this is the insurmountable problem. I don't know what the future holds. Like, I have no idea. Yeah, it's really hard to see what direction things will get. To be honest, it's kind of sad to say, but I'm pretty pessimistic. I think about there's little reason to believe that things will get better. I think, and that's a really difficult thing. It's a hard thing. I talked to my son about that, and
how old is he?
He's 11 right now. Yeah, he's 11, nearly 12. But I talked to him about it recently, because I was asking him something about, what do you feel like about the future? And he was like, well, it's not good.
He said that.
Yeah, he said that. And I was like, this is upsetting.
Yeah.
But you read the news, you pay attention to what's going on, you hear what the kids are taught in school. It's hard to believe that there's a better future ahead. It's something I'm really pessimistic about, and I don't have any answers for it either. So that's why I like living here. I like living on the edge of the wilderness, and I like hiding in the countryside, going out places. I'm almost pretending that stuff's not happening,
Yeah.
Which is probably not a good thing, but yeah, I'm pessimistic about the future. I don't see a solution to the environmental problems. There's too many people in the world, huh? There's too many people, and I mean, I like.
Would it be different if the people would act different? I mean, if you say, okay, we have too much, but if we say, okay, all the people which are here now would do stuff different or
sure. Well,
consume different.
We can try. People can try, and we can try to change patterns of behavior and how people act. But I think it's human nature to do things, to do things, to create, right? That's what humans do. They create stuff, right? Like me, I build things. I want to make things. I want to do things. And again, this is something I observed with my son, when he was, because I think a lot about the environment, and we're not necessarily, particularly angelic in our behavior with the environment. We try to do our best, but at least we're thoughtful about, we're trying to understand the problems. And so I try to understand, how the kids will think about this. And when I'm watching him and he's 2 and 3 years old, if you put a pile of bricks in front of him, wooden blocks, he's building and making things without any guidance. And, you watch them as kids playing on the beach. They're building with sticks and stones. They want to create. They want to make. It's human nature. It's instinctive. And so with however many people there is, 7-8 billion people building, creating, doing, pushing their lives forward, the environment drops down the order of what people are thinking about. And so,
I never thought about this from this perspective, about that we all want to create. So, it could be, how would you say that? Maybe there's at some point not enough space for being creative for everyone. Like, if everyone wants to create something, you need space as well.
Yeah, for sure. We're really privileged, right? And you're probably really privileged. I don't know. Like, we're privileged to be able to have the freedom to do kind of what we want to do.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine a world going forward where you're trying to take that away from people. That's hard, really hard. I think, I don't know. I can only really look at it from my perspective, from my perspective. And I think a lot of people feel the same. You want the freedom to be able to explore your ideas and do things. And, I couldn't live it. How can you solve environmental problems without really regulating people's lives down to a very, very limited amount of stuff that you can do? And I don't know, this isn't a life I want to live. I don't want to live like that. How you persuade millions or billions of people to live like that, I don't know.
Yeah, we're starting being robots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I couldn't do it. It's it wouldn't be good for your mental health, would it?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd go insane, I think. Yeah.
What is your main part doing or taking care of your environment, how do you?
Well, so, I think I take the view that everything you do has an environmental impact, right? Everything. So I try only to do the things that we feel we need to do. I guess that's kind of what, we do the normal stuff that everyone does, right? Recycling.
Not everyone.
Oh, well, not everyone. Yeah. That's true. Not everyone, but everyone who's got a brain, everyone who's sensible tries to recycle, tries to, not waste plastic bags, not have coffee in a plastic cup, all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah, we don't do that. We don't buy bottled water, all that kind of thing. We're raising our own meat, I suppose, here. We have our own pigs, as you know, you've been feeding them. Yeah. So you've established quite a relationship with them. Yeah. So that's something, right? That's something, we can avoid mass-produced meat and mass-produced farming. And with building, definitely with building, building that's using natural materials, sourcing everything locally, that's really, really important. And building a building that's going to be really energy efficient. So we take that as seriously as we can, and we hope to make sure that when we've eventually built what we want to build here, that it's as good as it can sensibly be. But I won't take things to, necessarily to extremes, but yeah.
Yeah. And would you agree if, when I say you cannot take care of every single step, every single part of it, you have to choose your part, your field, your battle where you are, protect the environment. Like we talked about it, if you are doing everything, like we have to go back to the cave.
Yeah.
So there's no...
For sure. Well, we're building right now with power tools, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
We're using power tools. We could just be using a hammer and a chisel and a handsaw.
Yeah.
And that would be better for the environment, right?
Yeah.
Will take a lot longer.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Take a lot longer to do what you do. So, yeah, I think this is the big problem that makes it the unanswerable question. I mean, there's people looking at it from both perspectives, aren't there? In the environmental world, you've got people out there who advocate for a caveman style life.
Yeah.
Just grow your own vegetables, do the least you can, travel nowhere.
Yeah.
Make your own clothes, whatever, and have a minimal impact, which is admirable if you can do that. But personally, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty hard. And then you've got other guys saying, we can technologically solve everything. We can have, 1 million solar panels and we can all have a Tesla.
Yeah.
And, would the world be a better place if everyone has a Tesla? I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not.
Well, maybe we figure it out.
Yeah. There's going to be some big problems. I think I did watch something really interesting about that. And they say if everyone has an electric car, like we need tons of nuclear power stations to run them. So you can't solve the problems easily. They're not easy. So we just forge our own way in the middle, try to be careful, try to be thoughtful. That's it.
Yeah, I think, for me helped it a lot when I realized, okay, because I'm like a person, I'm thinking a lot about how can I do something good for the world, for the humanity, for the environment. And it helped me a lot when I realized I cannot fix every problem and I cannot take care of every single problem in the environment. I just have to choose my way.
Yeah.
And if I'm starting using no plastic bags, that's my start, that's my part. And then maybe I can add something on. But from 0 to 100, it's like, you're stuck.
Yeah.
And then it's not helpful for anyone.
Yeah. No, I understand that completely.
Yeah.
I mean, I've really battled this. I've actually chilled out about it a ton since, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years ago. I think, when Bertie was first young, when he was really a little kid, I was really thinking about it a lot and, trying to sort of grapple with it as if it's a problem you can solve.
Yeah.
Right. As if I could come up with a solution where, okay, we're going to live like this. This is going to be how it is. And in the end, I think I kind of went through a phase where I was a little bit depressed about it. I was like, and then I've come out the other side of that and I just had to find a middle path where it's reasonable. We're doing our bit, trying to be thoughtful, but not being extreme.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's that's our way right now.
If I think if I think we are too much, should I, or would it be okay for me to leave tomorrow? Like, would it if you can solve the problem with leaving the planet? Like, let's say you go tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
To help get less people. Would that be okay for you?
Well, this is an interesting philosophical question. I mean, so if if you're concerned enough about the environment, then, the easiest solution is to extinguish yourself in existence, because then you don't have an impact, right? Not advocating for that. I don't think anyone should do that, but, this is a huge problem. I do think there's too many people, for sure. And if we can find ways over generations, I guess, of encouraging people to not have too many kids, we have 2. I guess that's a reasonable number. It could be too many. It's on the edge. But if you have 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, then that's definitely crazy. by my reckoning. Anyway, I think Sarah had was given some advice by her boss once, which is that you shouldn't have more children than you have hands. And I think it's a good piece. It's a good piece of advice. Yeah. 2 is a good number. 2's enough. 1's probably great. None is fine too, right? None is fine too. But having 4 and 5 kids doesn't make a lot of sense. Huh?
Yeah.
So,
well, what would you say if I, like, let's, for example, I would say now, well, would you recommend to being a father, or not?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well,
and I think you'd be really good at it too. Yeah, I think you'd be a great father. I've no doubt about that. I've got to know you.
No, but if you look at from the environment perspective, like
from an environmental perspective,
would you say okay? It's okay or would you say have the experience to be a father and see what it means to be part of, like, I think one of the most unbelievable things what can happen, like creating a human.
Yeah.
Or would you say, well, it's better for all of us?
No, I wouldn't know.
If you miss it.
No, it's not mine or anyone else's business to tell people like how they should or shouldn't do. I mean, a lot of people now, I think, don't have kids for that reason, for environmental reasons. And if that's their decision, then, good for them. And it's fine. No problem. But yeah, no, for me, it's an unmissable experience to have kids. And, it's also the point of life, right?
Yeah.
Like, we need some kids. So, got to have some kids. Yeah, you just got to find the sweet spot. I mean, I guess if everyone, most people are having 1 or 2 kids, then it will be fine, wouldn't it? We'd be on a sustainable path, but right.
Yeah, and I think also a big part is like the education, which we have to change in the whole world, like change the education way, how we learn, how we educate babies, kids, this is a big subject. Yeah, we could talk about that for hours. Yeah, most education is bad in my. I don't know. Yeah, right now it seems to be anyway. Yeah, it should or could be much better to solve a lot of problems if we start now, maybe in 20-30 years. But if we not start, we will have more problems if we don't change something.
Yeah, no doubt.
Do you have something in mind? What you want to ask? What you want to talk about?
No, I mean, I think we talked about lots of interesting things. No, I mean, any one subject. We talked a lot. I like talking. You touch on education. It's a subject we can talk on for hours. We can talk on any of these things. No, I mean, I'm interested a little bit in what. How you got started with the podcast thing and why you're using this as a method of exploring Canada. Did you start before you came to Canada? Or?
I started in January in Switzerland.
Okay.
In German.
Okay. Yeah.
With the idea to change in English at some day if I feel comfortable enough.
Yeah.
Because I already had the visa for Canada and I knew that I will hopefully cross the Atlantic at some day, and maybe after a few weeks and months, I'm feeling comfortable enough to change in English because, it's also really nice to learn the language better if you practice.
Yeah.
And especially, it's also a big step to say, okay, I'm changing the language where it's not my native language, and I'm not really. I mean, of course, like we can have a conversation. I'm feeling good, but it's a lot of people would say it's brave.
I think it's very brave
to do that, and but this is to come back to your question as one of the big reasons to start this podcast. Yeah, the idea started when I decided to leave this life which I had in Germany. Like I came to a point, okay, I follow a lot of normal things. Like I have beautiful work. I have really, really, in my opinion, the best family in the world. I have, I got the chance to be a soccer coach on my hometown club. I had all these possibilities. I had everything I needed, and I missed something.
Yeah.
And that someday I drove to work in my car in the morning on the highway, and I had the right song on maybe, and I realized, okay, I always dreamed to travel the world.
Yeah.
And to see as much as I can, and to meet a lot of different people and cultures and learn. And I was like, okay, that's the decision. I will go alone, like starting alone, make experience, leave everything controlled behind.
Yeah, it's a great decision. I love it.
And then I thought about, and the first day was walking to Australia from Germany.
Oh, you were going to walk to Australia from Germany. That's a long way. Yeah.
On this thought, I had the idea. Okay, how do I save some memories about the journey?
Yeah.
My life, and I like photography, but I'm not the person who's doing a lot of photos.
Yeah.
And I like videos, but I'm also a person. If someone making a video, I'm happy to be in it.
Yeah.
To be honest, but I'm not the person who recorded, and and I'm writing a lot, but it's not takes a lot of time. And then I came to the okay, maybe I just should talk with people, which I met and recorded, and but it took a year. It took a year to start. I always said, well, I don't have the knowledge. I don't know how to do a podcast and stuff. And then I went to Switzerland last autumn, and a friend of me gave me this microphone and said, go for it. And then New Year, I said, okay, now it's the time to start. Just start. Without knowledge.
Absolutely.
And
that's
take
the way
risk.
To go. Yeah, exactly. No, that's definitely the way to go. And I think you seems like you're doing a good job. I listened to one or two that were pretty good.
Yeah, thanks.
It's pretty cool. No, I like what you're doing. I think it's awesome. And I mean, it makes perfect sense. I like the fact that you've taken on this decision to go exploring and explore the world. And, I tell you that, our life is really good and nice, and no complaints, but quite often I do get jealous of Workaway people, the people that I meet with Workaway, because they're in that time of their life where they just, mostly don't have any ties or anything really holding them to one place.
Yeah.
And they're still exploring and adventuring and doing all the stuff. And I'm sure we'll do a lot again in the future, but right now at this point in our life, we're not doing so much of that.
And especially at these times, it's, to be honest, I think 99% of every day I'm waking up and think, wow, what I'm doing at the moment is so, so nice. And I'm super grateful about that.
Well, that is awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. So
you're winning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
really good.
Yeah. And then to share encounters like you with other people is like, for me, it's beautiful, because I think minimum one person will listen to one of these episodes, or maybe, think, oh, that was a nice sentence.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. And I cannot say thank you enough, because we had the last day together.
Thank you. You've helped me. You've helped me a huge amount with the building, and I really appreciate it. It's been really...
It was a real pleasure. And was really, really nice. And I'm looking forward to come back at one day and see how the building...
100%. You have to come back.
Does look like when it's finished.
Yeah, come back in the ski season. We go skiing.
Yeah,
we'll go skiing. It'll be fun.
Yeah. No, it's amazing how you get into a project which is not yours, but at the end, to be honest, I'm still thinking, is it the right decision to leave? Because I will miss so much steps now.
We'll send you pictures. We'll send you pictures.
Yeah, that would be nice. Thank you, James, for your trust. Because it's always very private talk. it's really nice that you share your thoughts with me, with the world, with everyone who wants to listen.
See how it goes. Yeah, it's an interesting experience too, because I've never done that before. So let's see.
Well, and to be honest, I'm super nervous every time. Every time before I start recording, I'm super nervous. Like,
okay, you seem natural at it. Yeah.
Pardon?
You seem natural at it. It doesn't seem a problem.
Well, the teachers in school time said that always, but I never felt.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
I was super nervous on the front of the class and didn't know what to say when they said, "Are you too cool? What's wrong?" I said, "Nope."
Yeah. Okay. You're good at putting it on.
Yeah.
That's good though. Yeah. That's the skill you need. Huh?
I mean, there's a lot. I'm not doing it on purpose.
No, but there's a lot of people who think are like, I don't know, famous pop stars, whatever, who feel like that. Huh?
Yeah.
They don't, they put on, they can switch into the mode, they can do an amazing show, whatever, but inside they're still nervous and still. So,
I really enjoyed it. We wish all the listeners a beautiful day, night, wherever they are.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely night here now. It's dark, and I'm wondering what I'm going to encounter on the way back to the house.
Oh, yeah. Do you have a flashlight?
I can find a flashlight, yeah. I always wonder, though, walking around you walk around in the dark, huh?
Yeah.
Quite a bit, just in case there's any bears out there. No? Are you shouting still for bears or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I'm alone, yes.
Yeah.
I sing or clap or just talk bullshit and talk to the trees.
Because this time of year is when the bears are around, right? And you definitely got to think about that. I know I've bumped into one in the dark before. You don't want to do that.
Well, dark is okay, yeah.
It's it's more scary in the dark somehow.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.